Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first speaker of Global Quantum Game Jam 2023. With me today is Laurentiu Nita from Quarks Interactive, who is the creator of this wonderful game, which you must have heard so far by, which is Quantum Odyssey. And welcome, Laur, to Quantum Game Jam.
Thank you, Natasha. Nice to be here. Okay, let's just jump straight into the game, and I will tell you exactly what was my way of thinking, to come up with this product and how the years just fly by as I started working on it. So, guys, I think it's been now 4 years since we started with a prototype. And being a PhD researcher, of course, the prototype was first on a whiteboard. That took about 6 months to understand if the laws of quantum physics that we care for, that define the universal gate model, the universal quantum computation framework, can be actually transformed into graphs, right? So, because if things can become graphs, then they can become a video game, right? Because then they have an beginning and they have an end. And if things have a beginning and they have an end, then they can become a puzzle, right? So if you're looking at Quantum Odyssey today, what you see here, and this is the editor. By the editor, I mean this is a place where you can mess with quantum bits. You can do all sorts of changes to them. For example, you can apply gates, and you can do this process on many more qubits, much more than one. You can go to 3 and so on. And the limit is literally your imagination. So you can do all sorts of entanglement scenarios. This is what you see here is one of the GAZ states, which some of you who know quantum computing might be familiar with it. So as you can see, what is Quantum Odyssey? It is mathematics. So it's pure state vectors multiplied by tensor products, Kronecker products, and it's based on a lot of research. As in, we actually do have a patent for it. The functions that went into making it are more than what you normally get on composers. So if you're looking at IBM's quantum composer or any other hardware manufacturer, there are a lot of things that we can do and they are not able to do yet. So to give you an example, I just created a custom gate that does exactly what the gates you just saw can do, right? And if I move this around, you can see the gate actually moves. From what you're seeing here is something that not many people have figured it out, but I can tell you. So if you're making a computer game that's based on quantum physics and it's using the rules of quantum physics, you can use the same rules of quantum physics to enhance the gameplay experience of your computer game. So what you see here is an idea that came to us as we were playing with custom gates. You can actually change the behavior of a matrix by encoding it in teleportation algorithms, right? So quantum swap operators can actually sandwich any kind of matrix that defines a permutation step in quantum computation, and it can be placed in any way you'd want. This is really fancy stuff, and this kind of stuff only comes once you start exploring and you start banging your head and you start to understand, like, wow, okay, there are some limits to what we know, and maybe we can do something to push these limits forward. So the actual editor of Quantum Odyssey gives you everything from the standard block spheres where you can do in pi and you can use all sorts of sin functions, cosinus, and so on to define the place where your state vector is on a single qubit to create a single gate, up to actually creating a huge matrix or taking one of the matrices you've created already and pasting it in. So you can copy from here one of the matrix. No, not here, but in the actual custom gate. All sorts of things like that you can do. And with this, you can give it a name, you can save as a puzzle, you can create multiple challenges and save these challenges and send them to other people who have Quantum Odyssey, and they can solve it. And you can see how well they solve these challenges and what rating they had. So this is one of the features Quantum Odyssey has. As I said, this is a 4-year project. Don't expect to do something like this in a single Quantum Jam. Game Jam, at best, you can come up with some game design decisions. But what I want to show you is like where the project can go if you put enough time and effort into it. So with what you just saw, the idea of creating puzzles, you can take this further, and you can create actual pieces of content. Yeah, you can call them learning modules. You can call them actual story progress chapters and so on. Yeah, and that would be nice because today there are many quantum algorithm tools out there or things that do some quantum inspired stuff, but there is no story. There is no kind of motivation to why people should play that, why people should explore that. So we fixed that by going down to the old JRPG concept where you have a person telling you stuff and you have highlighted keywords that you can click on and you can read a lot more by going through the encyclopedia. And yeah, it tells you what to do and how to get the job done to solve these puzzles one by one. Yeah, and between puzzles, we separated it into 2 parts. So you have the learning phase where we do not measure how well you solve the puzzles. We just want you to chill down and try to understand what the concepts are and how to solve these puzzles. So we give you some nice quotes, we tell you to continue learning. And after you finish that, you go into more advanced puzzles that look something like that. Let me show you like this, right? And yeah, the requirement is to figure out how to actually get the ball here. Straightforward, the ball spawns from here and you have to get it here. And find the solution, and you see how beautiful it can be. Actually get score statistics, you get your level increase, and you have of course the whole ladder where you can see how well you fared compared to other people who have tried the same puzzles. So you can actually understand how good your solution is compared to other people's solutions. And as for future releases, we definitely want to be the first company that actually is capable to start esports, right, in quantum computing. So I'm now in Korea, and I'm going to translate this game to Korean as well. I'm looking for partners, publishers, and so on to bring this to esports. What do I mean by that? I mean, if it's so easy to create puzzles, and if it's so easy to solve puzzles that we've tested even with 12-year-olds, 12-year-olds can actually do quantum computing problems by playing Quantum Odyssey. We want to put this head to head. So we want to have a design phase where people secretly create their own puzzle, one against the other. So they all know the rules. They have the same rules. Kind of like, you kind of decide what kind of items you should have in your battle. And then people solve each other's puzzles basing on the same rules, right? And then there's a real competition going on, and we'll see who does better than the other, so we can find who's the top quantum logician in the world, right? So this is our aspiration for Year of Quantum 2025, and please follow us, stay in tune with what we do, download Quantum Odyssey. If of course this is a commercial product, so if you have no money for a license, just message me, text me, and I will send you a license. Don't worry about it. We want to get as much feedback as we can, and we want this community to grow and get more and more people excited about quantum computing. So yeah, thanks, Natasha. And this has been my talk.
Thank you, Laur. It is very, very inspiring, and cannot wait to hear and see more from the launch that will be spring next year. So everyone stay
Hopefully.
tuned. Yes, stay tuned, and thank you, Laur, so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.